So here's a problem from WebAssign, and I'm looking at this problem and I see that I have the variable is s. I might change it to x because, in fact, I'll write it, let x equal s. And the reason I wrote that, if you introduce a new variable in the problem, you probably should define what it is. I'm using x because my s's look like 5s, and it's going to be a little confusing. So this is the integral of x, 4 to the x dx, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking the ILATE situation, I-L-A-T-E, it is integration by parts. And so inverse trig function, no. Logarithmic function, no. Algebraic function, yes. So that means u will be x, and then the derivative of u is going to be dx. Everything else is dv, so dv is 4 to the x dx, and v is the integral of 4 to the x dx. Now when you first ask to see this problem, I'm thinking, all right, I got to remember a formula here that doesn't come up very often. And so this is what's going on in my head at this point. I know this. We know that if I'm doing derivatives or integrals, I'll do the integral. The integral of e to the x dx is what? Is e to the x. Now there's a little bit more there that we don't have to worry about if it's the e to the x. That actually this formula, I'll write it as the integral of some base. How about a to the x dx? That's what I have in this problem. I got the 4 in there. So the integral of a to the x dx, that's what you need. Anybody remember that formula? It is a to the x over ln a. Well, is this one also that? Yes, it is. Because this one, e to the x over ln e, what is the natural log of e? That's 1. So it's that's what it is. That's the formula you're looking for. The integral of 4 to the x dx, which is going to be v in this problem, v will be 4 to the x over the natural log of 4. That little formula doesn't come up a lot, but I guess when it comes up, you need to know what it is. So for this problem, I'll do u times v minus the integral of v du, and I'll have, okay, u is x, v is 4 to the x over the natural log of 4, u times v minus the integral of v is 4 to the x over the natural log of 4, du is dx. The natural log of 4 is just a constant, and it's 1 over the natural log of 4. Let's go ahead and factor that out. So I'll go ahead and write the u times v minus, see, 1 over the natural log of 4 times the integral 4 to the x dx. So let's separate the thinking there from the problem. And now I have the integral of 4 to the x dx, and that is, well, it's right here again. So I have x times 4 to the x over the natural log of 4 minus 1 over the natural log of 4. Now since I'm doing this integral again, I have another over natural log of 4. So I'll say 4 to the x over the natural log of 4, and then plus c. There is the answer. We could simplify it, but there's the answer right there. Or we could, I like to say clean it up. We could clean it up.